Bring that over there. Oh, I'll read that in a minute. Let me save. Special court. Alright, the storyteller finished speaking to the crowds at the town square in the evening. That's when the Great Witch appeared. Still cannot forget the sound of that terrible incantation. It was undoubtedly that girl's voice. We ran towards the tower as soon as we saw her, keeping our eyes on her to make sure she didn't escape. We split into two groups at the entrance, one group to guard it, and the other to chase down the witch. I was in the first group. I was one of the pursuers. I ran into the tower and caught the witch. There was no one but us at the crime scene. We captured the girl. There was nowhere for anyone to hide there. There was no other witch, I'm sure of it. I was guarding the entrance. I hid the door locked? I don't know what you mean by it or HUD. That's right, young one. The fateful bell tower, the fateful incident. We saw them with our own fateful eyes. I suppose that can again be summed up by saying, you all did the best you could. Vigilantes were the first to arrive at the crime scene. Their testimony is credible. It does seem so. And if what they say is indeed true, it would be decisive proof of the accused guilt. Our opponent is a witch, the Great Witch to be exact. Things probably aren't as simple as they seem. If you think so, feel free to look for any cracks in their testimony, if there are any, and if you're up to it. Defender, you may begin the interrogation. Storyteller finished speaking to the crowds in the town square in the evening, and that's when the Great Witch appeared.
Hold it!
Shortly before sunset, there were lots of people in the town square, weren't there? All the people were in the square. You read the contents of the story, didn't you? Or you read? The town... I hate the word read and read. It's so stupid. The town's grand finale was kind of a big deal, huh? It happened only several hours ago. A sight we'll never forget. Storyteller noticed the Great Witch first. She appeared at the bell tower, and she conjured a flame above her finger. Storyteller fixed his gaze on that flame. But it was already too late. The Great Witch uttered the incantation. Grandworm. Who cannot forget the sound of that terrible incantation? It was undoubtedly that girl's voice.
Hold it!
And by that girl, you mean... What a question. I mean Espella Cantabella. Who else? She took her father's life with that fearsome word. Yeah, no doubt about it. That voice belonged to Espella Cantabella. That fiendish voice. It even made me shudder. A little. Oh yes. She shouted that dreadful incantation, Ignace. Wrong trial, Grandpa. That wasn't even the same witch. Looks like they all remember her voice. Well, to be honest, I also think it was Espella's voice. Maybe it's better not to dig too deep into this topic. Actually, interestingly enough, that wordsmith, little comment there might be important. We ran towards the tower as soon as we saw her, keeping our eyes on her to make sure she didn't escape.
Hold it!
Were the vigilantes the first to arrive at the crime scene? Of course. I was worried the Great Witch may escape us. So I never took my eyes off her until I reached that bell tower. We didn't lose sight of her even once. No. Even when I tripped on a pebble and fell down, I kept my eyes fixed on her. You fell down? Dangerous to run without paying attention to where you're stepping. Saw my fellow vigilantes capture the Great Witch. That's when I tripped and fell. It was impossible for someone else to have traded places with the person who summoned that fire dragon. Therefore, the Great Witch Bazella can be none other than Espella Cantabella. Split into two groups at the entrance, one group to guard it, the other to chase down the witch. I was in the first group.
Hold it!
Can you tell me which vigilantes were guarding the entrance? It was me and Lotta Lance. The rest went after the witch, right, Lotta Lance? Yeah, I think that's right. What about me? I was there with you. I was there guarding the entrance with ye. Yes, now that I think about it, it was quite a scene. Quite a scene? Want to know more? Why don't you ask the kid? I'm fairly certain that I, too, was there guarding the entrance. Well, wherever I may have been, the winds that blow over plains will have blown just the same. These guys aren't the best when it comes to teamwork. I was one of the pursuers. I ran into the tower and caught the witch.
Hold it!
You did it. You caught the witch. She was as if in a daze. I too was in a daze. And I seemed to fall unconscious. And when I came to, it seemed that I'd captured her. That means you climbed the tower before anyone else. Yes, that's correct. Let me tell you, that guy's the fastest among us. He runs at breakneck speed. Number 5 is very light. I'm quite jealous of his feathery build. Just don't know what to say. There was no one but us at the crime scene.
Hold it!
Are you sure there was no one else? Very sure. There were only 2 people on the top floor. Huh? Wait a second. You said 2. Yes, 2. It was me and my sweet Foxy. What? I'm in love. All my attention is directed at Foxy. That's a weak excuse. There were several other vigilantes at the crime scene too, weren't there? Yeah, probably. That means nothing to me. To me, there is only Foxy. That's my romantic interpretation of events. Wish you would testify about what you've actually witnessed. We captured the girl. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. There.
Hold it!
How can you be sure there was nowhere to hide? The whole city was watching the tower at that time. If the witch tried to climb down using a ladder or something, she'd have been seen. That's a fair point. But we're talking about Bazella here. She could have become invisible and flown out of the bell tower, you know. It'd be child's play for Bazella, since she can use any spell she wants. Right, the Great Witch Bazella could have escaped with ease. And yet, Espella was caught at the crime scene. Hear that, Nick? That's further proof there's no way Espella is Bazella, right? It's hardly conclusive. I mean, if that was enough to convince everyone, we wouldn't be having this trial. But there's something in Foxy's testimony that keeps nagging at me. Is there really no place to hide? Can any evidence in the court record confirm that? There was no other witch, I'm sure of it.
Hold it!
A witch could have used magic to remain unseen. Sorry to disappoint you, but no one used any magic at that time. What makes you so sure? Cast a spell, a witch needs to say that spell's incantation. And we heard no incantations, nor any other suspicious noises. Yeah, I was gonna say, what about you? You heard Ignays. Oh my gosh. Everybody has something to say. Oh. Ah.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Wordsmith. Do not know anyone by that name. Yeah. Anyway, would you like to comment on Mr. Treadon's testimony? I see you have nothing to say. He's in green field mode again. Do not rush to conclusions, young one. I am on a green field, sky-clad, watching petals dancing in the wind. Yep, I knew you'd say that. And yet a single shaft of light has shone through the darkness, a dark abyss of my memory. I heard something in the bell tower when we went to apprehend the witch. What did you hear? Was it an incantation? No, it wasn't an incantation. Nevertheless, it sounded like a woman's voice. Mr. Wordsmith, this is extremely important information. Please add this to your testimony. Yes, I shall do that. It's best that I tell you about it now, before I forget again. As the defender requested, you will now testify about the sound you heard. Alright. I guess I chose the right person. I chose him because of the Ignays comment, but, you know, here we are. Recall hearing a woman's voice. Faint, delicate sobbing, no less.
Hold it!
You heard a woman sobbing. Yes, sobbing, or perhaps wailing. Eek. Sounded a bit like hinges in need of some grease. Boy, his falsetto packs a serious punch. And there was another noise, too. Clack, 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 clack. It was a pleasant sound, rather like that of wooden cogs in motion. Huh. And another sound. A clink-clang of chains creaking. We've come a long way from the sound of a woman crying. Ow, ah. I remember now. A woman's scream. It was likely the contraptions. Second thought, I heard it too. I remember a certain wailing, creaking noise flowing through the air. And when did you hear it? We ran to the bell tower, and I think it was when we arrived at the entrance. Indeed, only the quickest of us got there in time to hear it. Mr. Wordsmith is a fast runner. Gotta be honest, Nick, I never saw that coming. I think it might speak more to the slowness of the other vigilantes. Anyway, we've got a new piece of info. Vigilantes heard some noises resembling machinery in the tower. I wonder what was making all those eeks and clinks and clacks. Was there any machinery up in that bell tower? Now's the perfect time to present something that may have some connection with those noises. Like they're all saying pretty much the same thing, but there was another witch in the bell tower. There's only an easy way to prove it. The other witch used an invisibility spell. That would explain why no one ever saw her. No kidding. Maya, that's the whole point of invisibility after all. But just knowing that doesn't help me. I need more information to go on. I'm sure there was one more person, another witch, in the bell tower at the time of the incident. I'm gonna find a way to prove it. Right, let's keep our eyes peeled for any witnesses acting suspiciously. This could be wrong. Before I I do that actually. Okay. If this is wrong, I'm going to be a very sad person.
Objection!
The defense has a theory regarding the source of those strange sounds. It was most likely this. This mechanism on the middle floor of the bell tower. That reminds me, there was some contraption up there unlike anything I'd seen before. That's right, Chief. We never touched it, though. How about we try operating that contraption to see what it does? We might just be able to reproduce the sound that Mr. Lotta Lance heard at the crime scene. Right, you might be onto something. But it was I who testified about it before that young man. I talked about it too. Well, you've got my curiosity. Let's see you set that contraption in motion. Lord, just leave it to me. You ready, everyone? Pick up your ears. That's it. It's the very same sound I heard. Oh, it is. That's what I heard as well. Yes, that's it. As you've all seen, or rather heard, clearly that device was operating shortly after the incident.
Objection!
Doesn't change the fact that we know nothing about what that contraption does. Your demonstration hasn't led us to any valuable conclusions. Inquisitor Darklaw has a point. It's not like I don't have an idea what that machinery was used for. But how should I go about proving it to the court? I should confront Madame Butterfly over there about her testimony. Seems we've wasted a lot of time over nothing. Defense, you may continue with the interrogation. There's nowhere to hide. Alright, I am once again going to take a chance. I'm going to present the bell tower plan to say that they could hide at the bell tower. And then they're going to say, impossible. There's no ladders leading up to the bell tower. To which I will say, present this contraption, which lowers the thing. I don't know how we made all those noises, by the way. Very suspicious those noises were made. When, you know, like, I would presume the pendant is responsible for that.
Objection!
Okay, so far so good. The eyes of the whole town were on the bell tower, and the entrance was locked. Witches may be able to make themselves invisible, but they can't physically disappear. Which means it's not unreasonable to suggest that escaping from the bell tower was nearly impossible. However, hiding themselves after the incident is a different story. That's the sketch of the bell tower, isn't it? Most fascinating. Well, Defender, how about you show us? Enlighten us as to where exactly the witch could have hidden.
Got it!
She hid here, of course, at the very top of the bell tower.
Objection!
May seem like a plausible place to hide. However, that part of the bell tower is inaccessible to anyone. The stairs don't go up as far as the belfry.
Objection!
Remember our demonstration a little while ago? Demonstration? Are you referring to that silly contraption?
Objection!
Why would you object to that? That contraption serves as a very specific function. The plan of the bell tower shows no stairs leading up to the belfry. Now, if you think about it in relation to the plan, it's obvious what this contraption is for. It's a mechanism enabling access up to the belfry. What? Is that what it is? Le gasp? Order. Another witch was in the bell tower when the incident happened, and the reason she wasn't discovered because she used that contraption to reach the belfry and hide up there.
Objection!
Hold your horses, Defender. You seem oblivious to the contradiction in your reasoning. What do you mean? I'm talking about your little demonstration earlier. Yes, the device was set in motion and made some strange noises. And yet, that's all it did. That's right, nothing else happened. If it was a device for accessing the top of the tower, then why didn't it take us there? Ergo, that contraption is of no relevance to this case. Which brings us back to my erstwhile conclusion that there was no other witch.
Objection!
Too early to say that, High Inquisitor. And why is that? Sure, our demonstration didn't show it, but maybe the device didn't work because it wasn't used correctly. What? Why do you think so? My reasoning is simple. Let's just say it would be troublesome if just anyone can go up and sound that bell. So it's reasonable to assume that access to the belfry would be restricted. In other words, that a special key would be needed. A key. And I think I know just what that key is. Before I ask you to present evidence, I'd like to summarize your theory. You believe that there was another witch in the bell tower at the time of the incident, and that this witch used a contraption within the tower to make her way up to the belfry and hide there. Your whole theory rests solely upon that contraption. If it doesn't allow access to the belfry, then your reasoning is completely wrong. I'm sure you know what that would mean for Espella. Your mistake would seal her fate. Yes, I'm aware of that. Right then, the defense shall prove its theory. Show us the key.
Take that!
And that! The key to the contraption is this pendant. That belongs to the accused, doesn't it? That's right. We found it at the crime scene. Now, if we take a look at the bottom part of this contraption, there's a depression here about the exact same size of the pendant. Oh yes, I remember it. A hole in the shape of that pendant. But I don't get it. Why would that pendant be the key to the bell tower? I don't know either. At least not for now. But the point is, it definitely is. With this pendant, we should be able to operate the contraption and access the belfry. Well then, the court will grant the defense a chance to prove its assertion. However, you shall be given one chance only. Are you ready, Defender? Make sure you are prepared for the consequences of a mistake. This will be your only chance. If it doesn't work, that will be the end of it. Yes, I'm ready. Got to be right about this. Good. To be honest, this looks like a puzzle. Wish the professor was here. This is totally his field of expertise. Are you ready, Nick? Should we give it a try? Yeah, it's gotta work. Bella's fate depends on this. Talk about pressure. Gotta stay calm. I wish I could have saved first. Le puzzle 70 picarats. That's a lot of picarats. The pendant light is reflected by the blue gems on the circumference of the gears of the machine. Each gear will rotate 90 degrees when turned. Rotate the gears to align the blue gems and redirect the light. The large central gem will only reflect light when the vertical position and when rotated. When in the vertical position and when rotated, light must hit the red gems on either side at the same time. I am beyond confused. Okay. Just like this is saying a lot. Rotate the central gear so that light hits the gems on both sides simultaneously. Okay, I see both gems now. Okay, Nick, let's give this thing a shot. Oh. Maybe not. Whoa, a beam of light. Of course, this must be the key. That light is just begging to be pointed at one of those red gems. You're right. Still, it looks like there's some kind of trick to the whole thing. A trick? Yeah, think about it. There are two gems. I bet we have to light both of them simultaneously. Looks like we're going to have to do it with only the single beam of light, too. Are you sure you can pull that off? I have no clue, but we've got no choice but to try. All we have to do is move the gears and bounce the light off those blue gems. Alright, no time for the jitters. Nick, we've got to make this work for a speller. Right. Did you see that? It lit up for a second. Yeah, I did, but it was only one gem. What gives? Nothing's happening. What exactly did you expect? The gems must be lit simultaneously. There's only one light. It's impossible. Indeed. Now then, I believe we have our answer. It is, as you say, impossible. Oh, wait a second. Let me try just one more time. That will not be necessary. Your time is up. Or have you forgotten you were given one chance to back up your claim? No way. Luck of food. In the end, the defense has failed to prove its theory. The contraption cannot be operated with the pendant. Pendant fit right into the mechanism. There's no way. That's a coincidence, but still, no matter how much I try, it seems impossible to direct the light at both gems simultaneously. It seems your foolish experiment wasn't too much of a waste of time. Huh? While you were tinkering with that contraption, the accused regained consciousness. Oh, Espella. She okay? Well, despite seeming a bit confused, she's in a better shape now. Although, I wouldn't describe her situation as okay. Quite the opposite, in fact. Don't tell me you've forgotten your agreement with the judge. You failed to prove your theory, and so the accused's fate has been decided. Nothing I can say to that. Attendants, bring in the accused. Did they really only give me one chance? Oh, maybe this is that second part that I was talking about, where, you know, Layton is going to have to bust in through the door.
Accused, the trial has reached its conclusion in your absence. The court shall now announce its verdict.
The verdict. You are the Great Witch, and your true name is Bezella. This evening, a terrible crime took place. You killed your father, the storyteller, using the spell Grandworm. Does the accused have anything to say?
Yes, I am Bezella, the one that brought calamity upon this town. And my memories are proof of this. I remember the legendary fire in which this town was burned to the ground. And this day several hours ago, I summoned a fire dragon and took my own father's life. There is no doubt that the Great Witch is a part of me.
I understand.
Hold it!
No, Espella, you can't. Don't say that. You're under a spell. Don't give up just yet. Fool. What? You've been fighting a battle in this court. You have come here with your logic, finding contradictions to astound everyone. It was your battle, not hers. So how can you be telling her not to give up when you have already dropped your sword? You are a true knight of the court. You will fight your battle to the end. Why is she telling me this? It almost sounds like she's encouraging me. Is she waiting for something?
No, it's okay, Mr. Wright. Ever since I was little, I can only remember being all alone. But that's not really true. There were people who were dear to me and memories that I cherished. At least, I think there were. But I've already lost all that. They were taken from me the moment I became Bezella.
Poor Espella.
Since then, I started working at Aunt Patty's bakery. I met Mr. Wright, Maya, Mr. Layton, and Luke. The four of you did all you could to help me. I am truly happy to have met you. But blame for the Great Witch's crimes rests solely on my shoulders. So let's put an end to this now. Bezella must not remain in this town. Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Espella. Well then, it's time for the final verdict. Think, Phoenix, think. Is there anything I can do? Just need something. Oh, look on her wrist right there. Anything that can offer a single glimmer of hope in this darkness of despair. Gotta be something, right? Right there on her wrist.
Objection!
Your Honor, please hold off with the verdict. What's that, Defender? Too early to pass the final judgment on Espella. What? Explain yourself. You said earlier that the trial has reached its conclusion. But there's something we have yet to examine. What are you suggesting? You mean to say you have some new evidence? But surely there can't possibly be any new evidence at this late stage. Very well, Defender. We shall play along with you just one more time. Now, show us this evidence that has yet to be seen. Crucial piece of evidence. There's only one place where it can be. It's in Espella's possession. I have it? Saw it for a second. Something there that she shouldn't have. An item that contradicts what we've heard. My gut feeling tells me that the item is the key to this whole case. Most interesting. I shall enjoy watching you hopelessly struggle through this like a fish caught in a net. Now, Defender, show us this evidence. Whatever that is, that looks suspicious, but I'm going for this.
Got it!
Espella, Can I see that bracelet on your left hand? Yes, certainly, if you like. It's actually a pendant, you know. But the strap got torn somehow when I was up in the bell tower. That's why I've had it around my wrist since, well, just before this trial started. But this pendant, it looks exactly the same as the one we already have here. Wait a minute, what's all this? We confiscated her pendant at the crime scene. Why is she wearing it now? I don't get it. It's giving me a headache. I was right. I have another question about this pendant. Espella, do you remember when exactly the strap broke? Trying to remember, but no, I can't. I know it was still fine when we parted ways, but in other words, she has no memory of it. She doesn't remember when it broke or when she tied it to her wrist. That's certainly bizarre, I must say. Your pendant has already been submitted as evidence.
Objection!
And yet, Espella still has her pendant. That's a fact that we can attest to, which means there must have been two pendants to begin with. Really?
Objection!
So there are two, and the accused was caught red-handed at the crime scene. Whether this pendant is hers or not, it doesn't change anything. Yeah. She was caught red-handed by us, the vigilantes. This pendant proves something crucial to this case. It can't be more crucial than us catching her at the crime scene. A second pendant wasn't dropped by Espella. So as the defense already suggested, one more person was at the crime scene. What? Order. Accused, submit your pendant as evidence this instant. Yes, my lord. Nick. We have two pendants to work with. Maybe we can see if that strange contraption will work this time. Now it makes sense. That must be why it didn't work before. Your Honor, the defense would like to try operating the mechanism in the bell tower one more time. But why now? The contraption didn't work before because we only had one pendant. But both pendants are needed to operate it properly. Foolishness. Try as many times as you like, it's no use. Inquisitor Darklaw, you know this is a waste of time. If it's not going to work anyway, why not let the defender see for himself? What? Defender, if you think you can operate the contraption with two pendants, then I suggest you go ahead and try it, unless it has already dawned upon you that such a plan is futile. The defense shall be given one more chance to verify its theory about the aforementioned contraption. Let us now make our way to the bell tower. This is going to be your last try. Just in case. Just in case. In case. I know. Are you not terrified? The life of the accused rests in your shaky hands. We won't be having any more "let me try again, please, your honors." Besides, you must be aware that this puzzle may well be unsolvable. I wouldn't have been able to solve a puzzle like this before arriving here in Labyrinthia. But now, I'm sure I can take on any puzzle. And that's all thanks to you, Professor. You've taught me that every puzzle has a solution. I have everything I need now. What do you say, Maya? Should we hurry up and get started? Sure thing. It's puzzle busting time. Totally random, and you think you may have mentioned this before, but you hope NF tours to Portland again with the advent of his new project. He came there in 2019 for the search. You missed it back then, and you regret it. You're just gonna have to Just gonna have to make sure you show up for the whatchamacallit. And be as a bomb diggity. As they say. I see. What is going on? Okay, so that has to do that. Okay, sure. Why not? Oh, they have to be lit up at the same time. While I have solved the puzzle, I have to link these together. Tricky. Somehow I have to base these lasers. So that there's overlap. Wait. What is that? What is that? What the heck is that? I didn't know that was something that I could manipulate.
I await your verdict.
I got to start up the timer, but
No
whatever.
further objections.
Like he and Eminem are on your bucket list. Definitely want to see them both in concert before you die. Well, maybe you have to fly out somewhere. Visit a city you've never been to. Take a little vacation, and that way you get to see a concert that you've never been to before, and maybe experience some local cityness. I was gonna say local wildlife, but I guess it could be one of those things. Maybe go visit a zoo or like Yellowstone or something like that. Success. As the red gems shine with an intense light, a larger gem on the pillar begins to emit a glaring light. Sure I did it right. Nothing's happening. Sound. This is... what an astounding contraption. What do we have here? It's still no comparison to the incomparable astoundingness of Mother Nature. Oh, I'd like to climb up those stairs. I'd like being on the top. We shall escort you. I'm gonna stay. Okay, Nick. Let's go see what's upstairs.
Nick, isn't this bell?
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the bell that was taken from underground. The bell of ruin. The bell that must not be sounded.
Nick, there's someone hiding behind the bell.
Ah. It's you. Now that's the last person I expected to find here.
I wouldn't say it's the last person for me, but it's pretty far down the list, that's for sure.
Miss Kira.
You sucker. You sucker fool. You have been to Yellowstone? Nah. How many zoos have you been to, though? This, or we're going to call it quits for today. Looks like we might be going into, just judging by the little preview image there, looks like we're going to Professor Layton right there. So, things are getting interesting, that's for sure. As mentioned, doesn't look like we'll be beating this game today, but, there's always Monday. Let me see. I would say again, there's probably like a 5 to 15% chance that I will stream this weekend. I only have about like 12 hours left on the encounter report that I'm, or the specific encounter report data for one person that I'm working on. So once I finish that, then I finish my stream and review video, which I think I can knock out this weekend. So I would say the chances of a stream happening on Saturday is probably in the 5% range, but on Sunday I can see a 15%. And, or maybe, well, these are just ballpark percentages, no guarantees, of course. But I think I would rather beat this game over the weekend than do it on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll see how that plays out. Still going to keep it at 15% though. But I will say Sunday is probably closer to 15% than Saturday is. My stream and review video, I have input all the data. I have all the scenes created. I just got to line everything up to my voiceover, which theoretically shouldn't take that long, unless, things go wrong. But with that said, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If I don't stream over this weekend, no guarantees on which time, by the way, but usually if I stream on the weekend, it's going to be in the morning time. I typically like to stream between like 7 and 9 is where I would go. But if AM Pacific, But if I don't stream this weekend, I will be back Monday, 7 a.m. Pacific, to continue with Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, or perhaps a new game if I do stream over the weekend. We'll see. I'm out. Peace.